been here in Fort Worth for about 4 to 5 years, and with the Y for a long time before that. So we are super excited for y'all to join us this season, and especially if it's your first time playing sports ever, first time with the Y. We're going to try and go through this pretty quickly, so that way y'all can get back to your families, get dinner, bedtime, anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Alrighty, so let's get started. Okay. So if y'all are in this meeting, then you would have received an email from either Danny or myself in the last couple of days. So on this first slide, I just have our emails and the branches that we are specifically overseeing. So for this spring, I'll be overseeing anything to do with Benbrook, Hood County, Joshua, Bryan, and the sports complex. And then Danny will be handling the North region up at Airport, McDonald, North Park, and Northwest. So we will be your program contacts for anything and all things sports. I have our emails on here. You can call us. Emails always quicker because we work at multiple different branches during the week, so we're not always at just right at our normal desks. So, but if you want to call us, you can call your YMCA, and they have our extension, so they can just transfer you right over to us. If we're not sitting at our desk, we get our emails or our voicemails to our email, so we can give you a call when we get back there. And then Danny's going to talk about some of our YMCA mission and philosophy.
Morgan, can you hear me?
Yes. Good.
All right, good. It's saying I'm muted, so.
I don't know if it's just me, but you can't see your screen.
Oh, you can't see the screen?
I can see the YMCA mission and philosophy.
Okay. Let's see, Danny, are you still muted? Let's see, we might not. Yeah, no, you still, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and read this part until Danny gets back, until Danny can get unmuted. So for our YMCA mission philosophy, what we strive to do is to put our Christian principles into practice through building programs that build a healthy spirit, mind, and body for all. So what you'll notice about that is it doesn't have anything to do with our winning, or we want to make sure you get bigger, faster, stronger, anything like that. We really want to be able to develop our kids into better kids that grow into better teens, that grow into better adults, and teach them good character and just have them have fun. So with that, we do expect that everyone participates and that everyone receives equal playing time. So we did just have our new coaches meeting right before this. We'll have our returning coaches meeting tomorrow night, and the expectation is that the coaches do play the kids equal amount of time. Now we understand there might be times where a kid is injured, or maybe they're just done for the day, they do not want to play anymore, which is okay. But if players are sitting on the bench, they're healthy, they're ready to go, no one should be playing the full game unless we have literally the exact amount of players to play. And then we've also told the coaches that as much as we want every kid to be at every practice and be there, that's not always feasible sometimes. So they shouldn't be docked playing time for missing a practice, because sometimes things do happen and you can't make it. So we do want to make sure that the kids are still being able to play their allotted amount of time, even if they miss a practice during the week. And then so one thing that we do talk about a lot, we talk about it a lot in the fall because that's our big season for it, but we start talking about it in the spring, is our annual campaign. And that is what we call our scholarship fund, to provide assistance for folks that need financial aid to play in our program. So that's either programs, that's membership, that's swim lessons, day camp, anything like that. So with that, some of y'all, if you're at the sports complex or if you're at the Northwest YMCA, you're going to see some of them that are some of the jerseys have logos on them, and that's what we call a jersey sponsorship. So all the funds for that go towards our annual campaign, go towards our scholarships. So if you know anybody or you yourself own a business that you'd like to sponsor on one of our teams, let me know. and we can get you that sponsorship information. But that's just, kind of to put those kind of phrases and those words in your ear, so that way when they are brought up, then you kind of know what we're talking about. Danny, are you back in yet?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
So parent participation and demeanor, what we hope from you guys is that we want everybody leaving happy and enjoying the game. We understand there's going to be differences sometimes with your interpretation of a rule or how you saw things happen. That is not what's important. We want the kids to have fun and enjoy their time here. Yes, you're always encouraging of the kids, whether they're on your team or the other team. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, right? That's what we've heard growing up. So we expect that to continue at our program. So always be positive and uplifting of your kids, the other team's kids. If you have an issue with an official or another team, please voice that with Morgan or myself or an official after the game in a polite manner. There's no need to yell or engage in a verbal back and forth with the opposing team, coach, or players. So.
And then one thing to add to that is something that we told the coaches as well, that y'all are all here because you have a child playing in the program. So like Danny said, we want everyone to be treated with respect. And that goes, for the kids and the parents. At no point during a game should any adult be talking about someone else's kid unless it's uplifting. It's, hey, they did a great job, or they're trying really hard out there. That's awesome. But there should never be anything derogatory said towards anyone else's child, because obviously you wouldn't want that happening to your kid. So, put yourself in the other parent's shoes and just don't engage in that kind of language or behavior. And if that does happen, we will address it. There could be suspensions that take place. So we just want to, go over that and make sure that everyone's on the same page and that we're all treating everyone with respect out there on the fields. So our new slide that we implemented last fall is our COVID safety protocols, which will probably be here for a little while. So these are incredibly important. We've emailed out links that have all of our return to play guidelines, our rules, everything like that. We had these in the fall. We're going to continue to have them in the spring. I know it's tough on everyone. It's not super fun, but it is where we're at in the world right now. And so we do ask. And whoever is that, can y'all mute? Thank you.
We're just gonna have to watch the video.
So we will have these, so read over these if you haven't already. But some of the things I wanted to highlight, that any of the all spectators, players over the age of 10, coaches and staff must wear face masks when you're at the field. Players can remove them once they get on the playing field. We're not asking them to wear masks while they're playing. They can if they want to. I've seen some kids that do that, but they absolutely do not have to. However, spectators, coaches, and staff must wear their masks the entire time they are at the facility. That means, when you're sitting down in your chair, yes, you have to wear a mask. When coaches are coaching, they'll need to wear a mask. Our staff will be running down the field wearing a mask. It's very important, especially with the amount of people that we're going to have out at these sites. And we want to make sure that those protocols are being followed for the safety of everyone and that everyone feels safe there. So with that, if anyone is not wearing their mask, our staff will go up to them and ask them to please go ahead and put their mask on and follow our safety protocols. At this point, there should not be any disrespectful behavior towards our staff. The majority of our staff, our referees, our part-time staff, are in high school. So, these kids are, a few years older than y'all's. And they do the very best they can in very tough situations. And so we don't want to make it even harder on them with folks arguing about wearing a mask. This is what we are requiring from the YMCA. This is our second season doing it. We are not the only league in the city or the state that has these exact same protocols. And we do expect that if you're going to participate in our league, that you respect our safety protocols that we have. So, if a staff member does come up to you, please treat them with respect. Please, follow their instructions on those safety protocols. and do not be disrespectful to them. If that type of behavior does happen, we will ask folks to leave the facility. We don't want to have to do that. We don't want to have anyone to leave. We know everyone wants to watch their kid play, but we do have to follow these protocols. So again, I just want to be very clear on that if anyone is not willing to follow them, they will be asked to leave the facility. Now, each participant, because we do have a lot of kids playing, we are asking that only 2 adult spectators attend with each child. Siblings are allowed, so if you have younger or older kids, we're not asking you to leave them at home. We want them to come, get to watch their sibling play, but we just have to make sure that our crowds don't get too large. So we will have markings on the field around the field that are like socially distant boxes. So that way your household can kind of have your own space, and then a few feet away we'll have another one. So those will be all around the field. And we do set it up so that way the home team and their spectators can sit on one side and the away team on the other. So that way, especially if you have the little ones, they can easily find you. If they're on the sideline, if they want to come sit with you, that's fine. But that just kind of helps everything flow a little better. And then we are again asking that we don't do post-game snacks right now. So if you want to bring your own child a snack and do that, that's totally fine, but we're not doing the group snack pass out. Alrighty. And then next thing we're going to cover is something super great that we've been doing for a few seasons, is our Sportsmanship Award of the Week. And this is something that the coaches do nominations for. And we ask them to send us a nomination of a kid if they feel they had one that week that demonstrated our YMCA core values, which is caring, honesty, respect, responsibility, and faith. So this has nothing to do with who scored the most goals, who was the fastest, anything like that. This purely has to do with their heart, their character, who demonstrated that this week. So each week we will recognize one player from each program, and we'll present them at the beginning of their next game with a little Sportsmanship Award shirt, which if y'all can see the screen, their little boy there has a red shirt, and we'll take their picture. We'll highlight them on our weekly email. I do send them out, all of the nominees, to our executive directors and membership directors each week, and they love reading them. They love getting the stories. Sometimes they share them on their branch Facebook pages, and they just absolutely love to get to see these kids. So this is something that the kids really love and get super excited about. And then Dana's going to talk about our coaches and who they are.
All right. So I think the most important thing to talk about here is that the coaches are volunteers. They're giving up their time, their knowledge, their effort to be out there with the kids. So it's important to remember that as a parent, we're not paying them to be out there. We do our best to arm them with age-appropriate skills and drills for your kids. I do understand that sometimes there will be different philosophies on how a team should run or practice or what the game should look like. And if you feel like you want to direct that, coaching is always an option for you. And I know we still have a lot of teams that still need coaches. Our program doesn't work without folks volunteering. We do ask that all of our coaches are background checked and do some online training. If you're interested in, even as an assistant coach, helping at practices or games, lead your team, let Morgan or I know. We'll get you the stuff to get background checked and do the online training. The coaches, once they're background checked, are given a green shirt like in the picture. So they're easily identifiable at games. Most of them wear them at practices as well. So that's kind of our indicator that we know that person's been background checked and is okay to be on the field. So if you're not background checked and you're not haven't done the online training, we expect you to stay off the field and let the coaches do their thing during the games. If you want to get involved, let us know. We'd be happy to get you going with that. The next important thing to talk about is practices. So we understand you guys have kids. I've got kids. The people volunteering have kids. Stuff happens. We've asked them to communicate with you guys what the practice schedule is going to be in a timely manner. We've given them until, I believe, the 15th to contact you. We asked them to contact you by the 13th. Practices start the 15th. They'll work with you as best they can to make sure practice times are conducive for everybody. Most coaches will ask what time and location works for you, but understand that their coaches, they have kids as well, and so maybe their schedule's doesn't work. But they'll do their best to work with you. If for whatever reason the schedule does not work out and you can't make it work, let us know and we'll see if we can get things going for you in any way we can. So Yes. And then Player Space. So I've been doing sports for 15 years now in the Y. This has been the newest, best thing that has happened to a sports program from a communication perspective. We used to do phone trees and then rely on texting or email, and it just wasn't the best. Player Space, especially if you have multiple kids, even playing multiple different sports through the YMCA, when you log in, you'll see all your kids' schedules and know where they need to be when. It's also a great communication tool for the coaches. They can get on there and email or text everybody through the app, through your preferred communication avenue. It's also a great way. There's a team page on Player Space, allows you guys to communicate as parents, post pictures, videos, and communicate to the team. So this is huge, and I would recommend downloading the app if at all possible. That'll be the easiest way for you to get communication and see everything. You can log in through the website, but the app's much more user-friendly, and we'll have all your information there for you.
And so on Friday, y'all will get an email from Player Space that's like a parent welcome email. So it'll have a button on there to click to log in and create your account. So please don't delete that email. That is very important. And then the app icon is this little picture right here, this blue star. So that's what you look for in the App Store. As far as our rules go, some of the links that we sent out to y'all that does include the link to our rules and our return to play guidelines. So you can look at those. Just a couple things for y'all to know. We do have team limits for each team. So for 3 and 4-year-olds, they play 4-on-4. So the team limit is 8. For 5 and 6-year-olds, they're going to play 6-on-6 this season and have a limit of 10 players. And for 7 to 12-year-olds, they have a limit of 12 players and play 7-on-7. So what's great about this is each team, if they're maxed out, they will have a few substitutes. So that way, if anybody misses, then they have, some spare players, but also it allows kids to get on the field a little more. So the teams aren't overloaded or anything like that, and they're going to get a lot of playing time. We did let coaches know that if for any reason that they're missing a lot of players one weekend, to reach out to us or reach out to their opponent and let them know that they're going to be down some players, and if they could borrow some, that would be great. We don't keep score in this league, so it's really just making sure that everyone gets to play and have fun. So if that means that, if your guys are playing a team that's low on players and you send 2 players over to them, that's going to be fine. It, kids get to meet new players. They get to, get involved with another coach. So that doesn't happen frequently, but we do want to make sure that games aren't canceled just because some players are missing that week. Only the head coach and the assistant are permitted on the field or in the little bench area that we'll have. And like I said, y'all will all be on the same side, so your kids will still be close to you. We also told coaches that any playing of illegal or ineligible players will result in suspensions. So this would be defined as someone who is playing down in an age group that they are too old for, or playing up in an age group that they're a few years too young for. It also applies to kids that are not registered in this program. So we said the example, if you're missing kids, don't just go ask one of your friends' kids to play. Ask us, and we have plenty of players that are willing to fill in. And then also, if there's any misbehavior from coaches, parents, or players, that will result in suspension. So obviously, we want everyone to go out there, have fun, be respectful. But unfortunately, sometimes we do have those incidents that escalate and are just not appropriate for our program. And so we do have to address those. And if it warrants a suspension, then we'll handle that. But I hope we don't have any of that this year, that everyone goes out and just has a really great time. So for the uniforms, they are different colors, but this is an example of what the uniforms are. They're striped jerseys. So we do provide the jersey. Shorts and socks are up to you guys. If the kids want to come in, rainbow or any type of socks, that is totally fine. We will email the coaches when the jerseys arrive. And so we will handle that, and then they will let y'all know where they're going to pass it out. Some of them do it the Saturday morning that games start, which is fine. All the coaches are going to get their rosters that includes the size that was ordered for each child. So the way our ordering works is we've already placed the first order because the first order takes a little longer to get here. We're going to place a second order next week that also gets in before the first game. So we should have the first 2 orders. So if you're on this meeting, then as long as you don't change teams later on or anything, you should have your jersey by the first game. If anybody registers later on, they'll still get their jersey. It'll just come after the first game. So again, your coaches will communicate that with you. We will tell them when they come in and all that. So for rosters, coaches will begin receiving their rosters this week. Once a coach has their background check clear, we go ahead and give them access to that. And then y'all should be contacted no later than February 14th. So coaches have a week to get in touch with y'all. If you haven't received a call by the 14th, please call your YMCA. The YMCA the front desk has a front desk login where they can just type in your name, look up your team info, and they can let you know. And they can verify your contact information if there's something wrong with it, and figure out why you haven't been contacted yet. But please go ahead and give coaches those few days to get in contact with you and get all settled in. And then our games begin on February 20th. And the way that works is we have 8 regular season games. So our last regular season game will be on April 24th. We will not play for Hood County. We will not play March 13th. And for everyone else, we won't play on March 20th. So that coincides with your last weekend of spring break. And then no one will play on April 3rd for Easter weekend. But otherwise, we'll play every other Saturday. And then for no coach teams, we need some help, y'all. We've had some great people volunteer to coach, but we still need a lot of slots filled. And so if you are on a team that doesn't have a coach, you will be contacted by February 5th, this Friday, to say, hey, we're still looking for a coach. The good thing is that most of our teams right now have a good amount of players on it, so we're not just having half full teams with no coach. But we do need parents to help volunteer. We have honestly a really good number of kids this season. We have a lot more than we did in the fall, which means we have more teams to fill. So we will be asking you guys. We'll give you the details. If you never coached before, that's totally fine. We have resources to help y'all. Like I said, you won't be the only one on that team. There will be other parents on that team that some may have some coaching experience, but maybe they can't commit to being the head coach. Sometimes it works out where 2 or 3 parents just band together and do the whole and coach together rather than just having one person, and that works too. It just depends on what works for that group. And so we will work on getting all those no coach teams filled. But if we don't have everything filled up by next week, we will schedule a no coach team meeting for y'all the week of the 15th, so that way your kids can get out and do a practice, and we can talk to y'all in person. But we really like to schedule that, get all the teams filled beforehand, so that way when we reach that practice week, that y'all can just go out, meet each other, practice, and not have to worry about that. And then, so again, these are our emails. If you have any questions, please let us know. Let's see. We have a lot of people on this meeting right now, so I don't want to cause a chaos by unmuting everyone. So if y'all do have any specific questions, I will say one more thing, is that for games, if you are playing with the Hood County YMCA, we'll be playing at the Granbury City Fields again for sports complex. Obviously, we have the sports complex fields, and then we have, if you're signed up for the 3 and 4, 5 and 6 year olds at Benbrook, it'll be the same field. For North Park, I have a meeting tomorrow with the school district up in Keller to secure a field up there. I just need to walk the field, so I don't want to tell you which one it is because I want to make sure we're finalized with it. So I'm going to walk it, and if it's good to go and we can secure it this week, then we'll send the North Park folks an email next week. And then up in Airport, we are going to have some combinations of playing behind the YMCA and then a couple age groups playing at the Meadow Park field. So Danny will update that for you guys. And yeah, everything else we will email this out. We'll email the recording of this, so that way if you guys have any questions that you want to go back and look at, then you can look at the recording again. We'll send out some more parent information, but again, look for that Player Space email on Friday. And we will see you all super soon. And we hope that you have a great first meeting with your coaches. And if you want to coach, please email us because we need you. So y'all all have a good night, and we'll see y'all in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.